Alright, here's another one for today. I may make some more videos this week. But still have things to do as well. So I have to try to squeeze videos in and around the stuff I got going on. I'm going to be on the warpath today with that woodchuck, chucking wood. Chucking some wood at him with the combat. You guys know what the combat is? That's a very old baseball bat that I have. It's over 50 years old and it's painted camouflage. I call it the Persuader. I also call it the Dispatch. But now I'm also calling it the Combat, right? Because that will be my combat bat to help persuade if I need to, right? I forgot to talk about something that has been bothering me since it happened, and I'm going to talk about it now. I'm going to talk about it right now, right? Man, I got so much stuff around here, I don't know where to put my phone. I like to be able to see it, you know. I'll just lean it up against this thing. Is that going to work? Yeah, there we go. Okay, we got a few minutes left here. Alright, so, let me take this away. Coffee cup, breakfast champions, fuel for the mighty. So, $80 billion worth of military equipment left to the tallywhackers in the Middle East. I'm still stewing. I'm stewing over that because they act like it's nothing because they didn't pay for it. The government, Mr. Potato Head and Company, well, the Uniparty, the government, they didn't pay for it, and they expect you and I to pay for it. But you know what? I'm not going to pay for it. I'm done. I've been done for years. I'm not going to pay for it. And you shouldn't pay for it either. I'm going to tell you, and it's going to make you mad. And I hope it makes you mad because it should make you mad. Because we work all of our lives. And years ago, it used to be easier to work and have something and have a nice life and be able to enjoy yourselves when you weren't working and have a nice family and a nice vehicle and a nice home and all that stuff. It used to be like that. But as time goes on, they progressively tax you more, and they make up wars, and they do all these things to keep you in the poorhouse. Okay? That goes for all people. Okay? That goes for all people. The government workers don't pay income tax. I hope you know that. They don't pay income tax. They don't. They don't pay into Medicaid, Medicare, all that. They don't pay into that. There is a separate system, 100% separate system for all government workers. And if you're a congressman, congresswoman, president, vice president, whatever, they get paid for life. Anybody who's alive right now who worked in government like that is paid for life. They're not struggling like you or myself or others, okay? Some of us are struggling more than others, right? I'll tell you, there was a point in time where I was homeless. I don't talk about that too much. When I was young, okay? And I was young, and I was homeless for a while. And it was very difficult. It was difficult. But I got through it because I had a will of iron. And I had God to reinforce me and keep me going. I thought about Job a lot. I was a young fella, still a teenager, you know. Um, but I've been places and done things now. You know, life has made me the warrior that I am, and I have been through the fire, and I'm thankful to God for all of the 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 um, things that I've been through, and He saved me several times. I've talked about that in the past. I'd heard God speaking to me twice in my life, and I was saved physically from death, and that's why I think I'm so very strong now. And what I was, it all started as a lad, and then, you know, as life went on, and I got involved in different things, and went on, had different adventurous parts of my life. You know, I've been in the heat, and had been through the fire and all that, but so that's how I got the way I am right now. But you know, I'm thankful for my past and the things that I've done to make me, to shape me into the man that I am, even as an older guy right now. But getting back to this $80 billion worth of military equipment. If let's say that we're just going to say an average 300 million real Americans in the North American continent. There's 300 million of us, let's just say that. So that means that and 300 million people, the population of the United States, 300 million people, $80 billion divided amongst 300 million people, that means if we instead of taking all that money and putting it towards that military equipment and letting the tallywhackers have it, if you had given all that $80 billion to the American people, that each person would have $267 million. Let that sink in. Every single red-blooded American in this country would have $267 million sitting in their lap right now. That is a lot of money. Most people don't even make $1 million in their whole life. Think about how much money that is if they just gave it away. Are you mad yet? You should be. $267 million. That would have wiped out people living in the streets. It would have wiped out starvation. It would have wiped out the homeless. It would have wiped out everything. Everything negative that we have going on in our country, it would have wiped it out in one blow. And if you're married, then she would have 260, or she or he would also have $267 million sitting in their lap. So combine that. Right? Almost $600 million. Right? And if you're a couple. See? But yet, here we are, everybody's struggling. We got homeless vets. We got people, other homeless people that are in need. We got all of these people that are in need and want. Some people don't have a house to live in. And yet they're throwing away money because they can print more. That's the problem with fiat money. They can just print more. And then they expect us to pay it back. I'm not paying it back no more. I already stated that before. I'm not paying it back no more. I'm not paying no more. Done. You should be the same way. You should say, I'm not paying it no more. I'm done. everybody in this country said, I'm not paying it no more, I'm done, they would have to sit up and take notice, because, you know, if we're not gonna fund them anymore, if you defund them, they can't work. They can't do it. The problem is the Federal Reserve keeps printing money, and when Federal Reserve is not even a part of the United States, it's a branch of a bank out of Switzerland, Bern, Switzerland. The Federal Reserve is a branch of a bank out of Bern, Switzerland. So it's called Federal Reserve to just pull the wool over people's eyes in the U.S. It's been going on for years. 1913 or whatever it is, they started the income tax. We didn't have no income tax before 1913. Don't you know that? Look it up. It's true. Man. All right, lighter subject. Okay, let's get off of this hooting and hollering about government and stuff. Let's talk about a lighter subject here. So one of my things that I like to do, it's a cheap hobby, is I like to collect patches, fun patches, things that are interesting to me, things that I've, you know, loved and used and stuff in the past and so on, and you know, things I've been interested in the past and the present and all that sort of thing. So I collect patches, and one thing I like to do is sometimes I like to put them on my rucksack or whatever, so I make these little patch panels, right? This one is solely Bigfoot, okay? This one is solely Bigfoot. Has this U.S. Department of Agriculture looking patch here. So what I like to do is I like to put this one on my pack, and I go walking around in state parks and stuff like that where the old people are watching birds and stuff, and they see these patches, and then I tell them I'm trying to find Bigfoot. That's a fun one, right? Bigfoot. What? Is there, what? Yeah, that's a fun one. So that's a fun thing to do, right? So, and here's one that's solely on toys that I've had and liked in the past. You know, HK. I've always been a big HK fan, and Benelli, and this is my anti-terrorist hunting license, right? So, this one's got a Boy Scout, first class. I was first class Boy Scout, and Coleman, and that's a observatory for the stars down in West Texas there. So yeah, so this particular Boy Scout, first class Boy Scout badge, this is not the one that I got. I've got the one. I've got another one. But this one was one generation earlier. I think from the 50s they put this one out, and I got this because it's more camo, right? So I thought, well, it's still first class, doesn't matter, I earned the first class Scout, so I got that because it was more camo and it goes in with these other patches. But I've got about a minute or so left, so I'm going to wrap it up. But I did get in this JRR token patch. I got this in. I got it from Spain. And it doesn't have any Velcro or anything on it now. And I'm going to dye this tan. So it'll have a tan background instead of white. But yeah, always been a fan of the Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings. So yeah, I thought, man, I need that. Need it like I need a new pair of shoes, right? Anyway, catch you later. Oh, P.S. we will be going through the belt kit pouches coming up in the next few videos, so look forward to it.